Now, this is going to be an interesting account takeover. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here, and we have another amazing account takeover for you. This time, we are on my dude AJ's account, and he has asked me to gear a number of champions for him, namely... Oh no, well, a spider was in my hair. I've been killing spiders left and right down here in the man cave recording studio. And, you know, we're starting off on his account with none other than my favorite champion in the game, Leorius the Proud. What an amazing champion we have here, of course. Now, in addition to that, we're cleansing his gear. And not his accessories, though, just the gear. So I just want to point out a couple things to you guys. Whenever you're hitting this limit from farming 5 and 6 star gear from your level 20 plus dungeons, the very first thing that you want to do is you want to start selling your 5-star blue gear. Okay, and he's done a great job of that. We had 2 pieces that are unequipped. And this is level 16, so we'll keep that. But then when we go and we take a look, we have 967 pieces of 5-star gear, and 645 of them are 5-star epic. So when you're looking to progress your account, that's the main area that you should be looking to get rid of. And most importantly, in bad sets like Fury, Daze, Frenzy, let's see what else, Destroy, most of the time Toxic is very unused. A lot of people do not use Taunting or Retaliation or Avenging or Stalwart. Curing is really bad. And you can just see like how much 5-star gear we have. In the mid game, the divine sets are fine, but as you progress, it's really hard to get good gear of that in 6-star. Resilience is fine and perception is fine, but usually we have more than enough 6-star pieces to get those, and so we're going to sell a lot of 5-star gear on his account to help him progress. And then what I always tell people is once you get your Lydia, or if you farm a lot, then you should sell all your 5-star gear. Because if we came in here and we sold all of his 5-star gear, except boots, normally I do keep the speed boots, but the percentage boots, those are gone, okay? If we came in here and we sold all of his 5-star gear here, that would eliminate the majority of his gear, to be honest with you. But at the very least, we need to start with the top row and the epics, okay? So I'm going to start off by making some space here. We are definitely going to gear some champions up as well. And we have an awful lot of 12 rank 12, 5-star epic gear that I just find very mediocre. It's not that it's unusable, it's not that it's bad, it's just not going to get you the stats that you're looking for to really make some good builds. And so, we're probably going to sell a lot of that as well. I am going to build, a lot of champions on this account today. So what I will do is, I think we'll do a live build of a couple different champions, and then I'll just do a wrap-up of all the rest, okay? So when you're building your attack-based nukers, that is the thing that you need the most of in Raid, in my opinion, okay? So we are going to look for just like what is the most attack we can get on an attack-based champion. So we're looking for attack main stat and attack percentage substats. And then if we can double hit, we would have used this ring. Otherwise, we'll use the 6-star ring and see if we can hit attack here. We didn't. We hit HP %. So I think that we'll just try and see if we can get it. No, we didn't. But I still think this is probably the best ring for the job. Okay. If we had other rings, then we would try to do that. On your crit damage amulet, if we had a choice, we would always choose 6-star. If we had more options, we're looking for accuracy and attack. Because Leo has a lot of accuracy-based things. We double hit on accuracy, they're perfect, but we did not hit attack. This is going to be a great amulet for him for a long time. And then Leo does want to land his abilities, so we're going to try to get at least 200 or so accuracy here. This is perfect with attack percentage and speed. This is going to go straight to 16. Hopefully we hit some good options here. You know, pretty medium game, like mid-game type of piece here, but that's the only accuracy banner we have, so that's what we're going with. All right. Double check, he has no masteries, so we can leave 5% crit rate. When I'm gearing the majority of my champions, I start off with the jewelry first, and then I come to the gloves. That's where I start, is typically with what gloves do I want. If I want them to do damage, they're going to go in crit damage or crit rate. And for me, I always want to start with crit damage gauntlets with crit rate substats. Now, he has no 6-star ones other than Draco here and Seer, but those are not even the best. So it looks like Magnar has some, but those look absolutely perfect for him. So I guess we're going to take a look at the 5-star ones. This has attack percentage and crit rate. This has crit rate and attack percentage as well. This has crit rate and attack percentage in Cruel, so that could be good. And just based on the availability of what we have, I think that those Cruel ones might be the ones we would go with. In an ideal world, you would have the 4 substats you're looking for: crit rate, speed, accuracy, attack percentage. Obviously, we don't have the availability to get that, so we're just looking for the best stats that we can get. Since we have so few, I'm going to just take these Cruel ones to 16, see if we can hit crit rate again. We hit flat HP. That is not great. That is not great. So I don't know. That might these still might be the best. These still might be the best. I guess because I have more champions to gear, we'll take these ones to 16. Get defense. All right, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off on those. We'll try these on. The next thing we're gonna do when you're trying to do damage, or the majority of the time, you want to match the chest with the champion. So it's an attack-based champion, so I'm looking for an attack-based chest. I would have a big preference for either Cruel or a 6-star chest. Okay, so this is crit rate, crit damage. Let me actually just sort by 6-star here. We have 2 as the available. We missed on crit rate and crit damage both here. Cardiel has an attack percentage chest. Weird. Makes sense for Candrafon and Draco. What is this one? This seems amazing. I'm going to take this off of him and put it here. Okay, flat defense, not great, but this will be a great opportunity for him here. So, now, we probably want attack percentage boots. We could continue to try to put more pieces of Cruel here. I suppose we could include speed here and just see what we have as an available option for us in speed, but pretty sure that we actually want either perception. If we had more gear, I would say let's try for Savage as an option, but that does not seem great. So let's see and look at the unequipped ones. I ran my Leo in Relentless for the longest time, so we could try a Relentless build. That, when you have not quite as good of gear, when you have more mid-game gear, Relentless can be a really good option because if you're winning tournaments, then you may have access to good 6-star legendary gear like this. This is wonderful. Crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage. I mean, I could probably not ask for more on that. Here's attack percentage and crit rate, but I feel like we're going to be short on the crit rate. We might have to utilize Leo's crit rate aura. That does happen a lot of times as well. Crit rate, crit damage, speed. We're still at a pretty low accuracy count as well. Can I might have to not put this Relentless on him. But it's not bad. It's not a bad build. Okay, let's come back out here. Let's look to go into Perception, I think. And I believe that we had some Perception boots down here. Crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage. So that's going to be cool. We're going to build him pretty slow. Okay. Leo can go ridiculously slow, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, so let's see what else we have available here. This is kind of like the thought process that I'm going to go through for every champion, okay? How can we best build the champion to utilize their skills? So let's start with these shields. We have HP, crit rate. Here we have speed and crit rate. Okay, all these flat hits are very unfortunate. Triple flat. Okay, yeah, this is going to be some of the gear we're going to be selling. Oh, that's probably going to be the shield. What if we did that? Then we're at 168. I think we might need a two-piece set up here. Excuse me, you know, a two-piece sets for Perception. the words. Okay, then that would put us still very slow, but with a reasonable amount of stats. And then what I do is I look at the build, and I determine whether we need to leave it or fix it, and then go from there. This has... There's not like a lot of options, but you can get really good mileage out of your Perception gear. Down 13 is too much. Crit rate, accuracy, crit damage. So let's roll this one to 12. That seems perfect. We're not losing any attack percentage. All we're doing is gaining accuracy. Okay, cool. What was the one we had on him before? This one, I think. Yeah. Okay, that's great. Now, what I will do is I'll go ahead and hit equip here, and you can see some pretty good stats here. And then if he ends up not liking the attack percentage build, you swap those over to speed if you need more on him than that. But a lot of times I like attack percentage boots. We hit speed there. That's perfect. Give us a little bit more. If we were to hit speed here, that would be perfect. Or crit damage. Perfect. Okay. And then here, we can't hit attack percentage on the shield, so we would be looking to hit speed or accuracy. Perfect. Okay, that's great. Now, in the future, once we get masteries on him, if our accuracy is really high, we could consider an attack banner, but this is a really good first build, okay? We're going to have 100% crit rate. We'll have 229 crit damage, and we'll have almost 4,500 attack once we glyph some attack on there. Okay, so I will go do some more builds, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about all of those builds. I'll cleanse the gear and we'll come back in with it. So BRBs. All right, so let's wrap up part 2 here. There's some things that stood out from my conversation with AJ. I wanted to share those with you. And then we'll look at a couple builds here. You can see Godseeker, who I have on screen. We'll talk about her in a second. I ended up gearing a lot of Faction War champions. I geared the Lizardman's team, a couple people in Shadowkin and Sacred Order, and basically just sort of filled out the Faction War teams he was already using, but this time just with champions with gear on them. Okay, so in talking with AJ here, one of the things that stood out was he has done a really good job selling all of his 5-star blue gear. Okay, and that's a very good place to start. Okay, now 5-star blue boots with speed as the main stat are perfectly fine. Okay, these are defense percent, and I kept those because they were level 16 already. But speed boots, definitely still a keep. We only have 7 pairs here. I feel like that might be a misplay. So keep that in mind, AJ. And then number 2 would be he was selling the majority of his 6-star blue gear. And I think pieces like this are a great example of why 6-star blue gear is good, okay? I was explaining to him that 6-star blue gear is oftentimes much better than 5-star epic gear. Okay, sometimes 5-star legendary gear can be better, but I would almost always take 6-star gear period over any 5-star gear because of the stats you're starting with can become much higher. Like this 18% here, this would be like a triple roll on a 5-star piece. Okay, and you can get that as a double roll, of course, as you see here. So utilizing 6-star blue gear is very important and very helpful, and oftentimes 6-star blue gear with like HP or defense percent as gloves, just like this, can be very, very good for your account, especially if this crit rate was like speed or HP percent, and then you would double hit. So let's say this was HP percent. These would still not be great. I would probably still sell those because he's short on 6-star defense and HP percent gloves. We're going to keep these, but, you know, this would normally be a piece that I would sell. All right. So keep that in mind, right? That you really want to focus on 6-star gear whenever possible. Okay. Thing number 2 is that although I do have Godseeker geared and Relentless here because he has some pretty good Relentless pieces on his account, unfortunately, you know, a lot of the times you need to use broken sets. Okay, I have a nice pair of defense percent gloves here and an acceptable defense percent chest. I wouldn't say that it's great, but it's okay. And it fit the bill for what we needed to do. Okay, so last but not least, I want to mention that you should always have gear on your Faction War champions. So if we come down here and sort by faction, I want to just show off some of the Faction War builds that I did, and Lizardman is the perfect example because I geared the whole team. Okay, and so he already had his Draco geared, okay, for Clan Boss, I assume, and it's a reasonable build with, you know, close to 100% crit rate, some crit damage, some accuracy. We have one set and then a bunch of broken pieces, and that's perfectly fine, okay? Then for all of the other champions, they are going to be at level 50, okay? Actually, one of them is not level 50, which we'll talk about in a second. So always take your gear to a minimum of level 8, Okay, and even this one, you know, sitting in the inventory, not great for the situation on the rolls, but the accuracy and the defense and the main stat are good. The attack doesn't really help, but the rest of the stats do. Okay, and then a lot of times we're looking for HP or defense percent on the chest, and then speed on the boots. Okay, and then trying to fill it in. Like this level 50 Skull Lord, we got a lot of HP defense. Not that much speed yet, but resistance and accuracy both. You can get all of those stats by using some broken pieces. And then, of course, you would roll the boots up here as the first ones, or put a different pair of 6-star boots on. Okay, and then you're going to see a similar kind of a build here with Rosin, okay? I accidentally, I put defense percent boots on him because they were 16, but we would love to find boots similar to this with speed as the main stat because he is extremely slow and he's not going to be able to do his job, but we ran out of reasonable speed boots, so I just threw these on here for now. In fact, maybe we could even switch those boots from Skull to Rosin just as options, okay? But you can see, I'm still getting some accuracy. I ended up with some crit rate here, like some defensive stats, okay? And then the same can be said of Broadmaw over here, and this is all, you know, for early game Faction Wars. We should be able to get up into the double digits in our Faction War teams with builds like this, okay? Now, in addition, he also has Skull Sworn here, and we don't care about Skullsworn dying, so I put some crit stats on, and then that's the team. And actually, by leveling up that team can carry you all the way through stage 21 once you get them all to all or most to 6 stars and get, you know, re-gear them for higher levels, okay? But that's the type of builds that you want to use for early game Faction Wars. It's better to have some kind of gear on them than nothing, okay? And the majority of the time, what you are looking for is defense percent or HP percent on the gloves and chest, and that will help you with survivability. But remember that you want to look for substats of accuracy as well so that you can hit your debuffs. Okay, like Rosin, he can't do his job unless he has accuracy. Okay, so we're going to be looking for more accuracy to put in this build, like an accuracy banner, or when we're changing gear, we're going to prioritize more accuracy because eventually we want to get him up to 220 or more accuracy with this type of build. Okay. So, we have successfully cleansed the gear. I didn't end up selling all of the 5-star epic gear, but we sold a significant amount. We cleared his inbox of all of the excess gear that was in there as well. And we geared, 25 champions? Yeah, so mission complete here. Mission complete. And now we can pass the account back over to my dude AJ. I hope you're pleased with this work on your account. And if you guys would like work on your account, get a hold of me. I will go over the account takeover procedures and whatnot with you, and we will get your account back on track as well. Anything you need, just let me know. And until the next video, I'm MtgJedi. I will see you guys later.